afternoon. You are listening to the Moncrieff Show on Newstalk 106 to 108.
There were 9 in our family. I'm sure my father could have abandoned us many a times, but it's very easy to happen when you have small children and they're all screaming and everything. You know, my son has 4 children, and you literally need to count them. And the young people today are under such stress because of the decisions that my generation made, financial decisions that my generation made, that is putting the burden of all this debt onto their backs. So young people are under terrible stress, and I'm sure that couple were under terrible stress. But there has to be a reason for people doing that. It's not necessarily evil, it's just this modern society. You know, we've allowed the international bankers to put all this debt on their back, and it takes 2 people working non-stop to maintain a family. Enormous stress. Young people with young families, they need medals. They're under enormous stress. I'm sure it was just a mistake.
And that's completely understandable what you're saying. Parents these days, you feel, are under a lot of pressure, working full-time to pay for a mortgage or even rent just to make ends meet, just to get by.
It takes 2 people running non-stop to maintain a family. Years ago, it only took 1 person. My father was a baker and he had 9 children and he owned his own home. It is impossible today to live like that, but it's my generation's fault that we have allowed this to happen in our lack of understanding of the monetary system. And basically the younger generation are paying for the wars throughout the world through the devaluation of currency, and they're racing to stand still. They're in a no-win situation, and my generation are responsible for it.
And it's interesting that you admit, I suppose, guilt or take responsibility.
Oh, I take complete responsibility, and I do try to do something about it. People are unaware the difference, but since 1971, when the United States came off the gold standard, and that contained them from printing currency, printing paper money. But since then, a dollar is only worth about 2 or 3 cents, right? Now, the impact on Ireland, say, for instance, or that young couple, I think they were French, where they have to pay for their oil and their food and their bread internationally in dollars, and they've absorbed all that inflation. And basically, they're working harder and harder and harder and harder to stand still, while the devaluation of the dollar and the printing of the dollar pays for war throughout the whole world. It's as simple as that.
So there'll be more abandoned children at the side of the road, do you think?
Well, people are under terrible stress, so that's the outcome, isn't it?